So in this second part of lookup tables, basically what a lookup table is in Photoshop, it's a kind of a preset for a color change. So this color change remaps the original version of the image to either a kind of a basic change or a more dramatic change. You see it used quite a lot in the film industry as well as in commercial photography, but there's no reason why as photographers we're not using it day in, day out. Pretty much you're used to a kind of a color lookup table anyway in the likes of Lightroom or Bridge and Camera Raw, where we're actually applying a very specific looks to an image to change its kind of characteristics anyway. But this is how we do it in the likes of Photoshop. In part one we looked at how we create a lookup table, or apply it I should say. So if you've missed part one, basically it's an adjustment layer, so we can either actually click on the 3x3 grid here, and that creates straight away a new adjustment layer. We can then actually click on load 3D LUT, choose anything specific on their kind of presets that they've done. We can go in there and change the different kind of blend modes, depends on the look and feel that we want, of course. And then we can also change its opacity. In the same way we can kind of move its effect on different layers above or below, etc. Now a lookup table can also involve changes in characteristics like levels. So in other words, we just got the adjustment color lookup table from the adjustments panel, but of course as it is an adjustment layer we can get it from the half moon. Just clicking onto that, third panel down, the bottom part, color lookup, and then that's how we kind of apply that the difference that we want to, and so on with it. But there's other things that we can apply to a color lookup table. That's what I was kind of getting onto. So this is again going into the adjustment layer. Let's choose the likes of curves. Let's just click onto the likes of the hand or the scrubby, and then basically choose the parts of the image we want to change. One of those, clicking on the highlight. Let's make them a bit brighter. Let's go to the darks and make them a little bit deeper. And in the same way I can go over to the likes of saturation and choose a specific color. So let's go into the greens and actually just once more hit the scrubby tool and basically just increase it or decrease it. I'm moving to the right, so that increases the color anyway. Let's see if there's any kind of reds within the image. Let's remove those down to a touch more. Here we go. So basically what we've created, as you can see, is all these adjustment layers, and really what we want to do is be able to save them to apply them across other images if it's a kind of a look that we really like and one that we're going to apply many times. Several ways to do it. The first thing is though to ensure that if you're working with any other layers except for a background layer, you must switch those off. Okay, because what you don't want to do is save any other parts of an image except for the background layer and the actual lookup tables themselves. Okay, so they're all highlighted here. If we didn't want anything to be saved, then obviously all we can do is basically click it off, and then it wouldn't be saved as well. Okay, so just as long as you're aware of that. Let's go and save this now. All right, so once we've got an image that we really like, we're just going to go into File, and we're going to Export, and then we're going to come down to Color Lookup Tables. So the first thing we're going to be is where we're going to save this to, what's it going to be called, and let's just call this 01 MC Test Blue. I can change its name at any stage, okay, but let's just kind of call it that for now. I tend to actually save mine at 63, which is a medium, and basically you can either decide either in a 3DL format or cube. It's really down to you. I tend to save in 3DL, and then it's going to ask me where I want these to save. So I'm going to save these into my desktop. I've just created a quick new LUT kind of folder on my desktop here, and again once more I want to kind of call this the 1MC Midnight Test. Okay, just pressing save, and then it's done. So in other words, if I was to then go and get another image, so let's go and open File, Open. Oh, it's gone to the LUTs. Let me just get my bridge. And let me just launch another image. 180. Okay, so a similar image, want to apply the same look. Now if I want to kind of load this in the preset part, so if I kind of click into the half moon again, go into color lookup, and I click onto load 3D LUT, remember that's the LUT, which is lookup table. Clicking onto here, it's not going to be there because obviously we haven't saved it into here yet. I'll show you how to do that now in a minute. So to apply it, I'm going to click on the 3D LUT, click on that, and then go and find on my desktop the LUT folder. DDD would have helped to put a 0 in the front. And then all I've got to do is go into the 3D file. There it is. There's my midnight test file, and that applies it across the image itself. Okay, so there's our look and feel and so on with it, but I prefer to actually apply it through the likes of within the actual the setup itself. So if we just look here again, let's just remove these. Yes, just click onto the lookup table again, click on 3D LUT, go into the 3D file again, clicking onto the test, and you can see it kind of works in the same way. Now what we've just seen, of course, is going to work differently across different images no matter what. For it to appear though in this 3D panel the whole time, it's better that we kind of copy it and we put it into the actual Photoshop itself. So the first thing we're going to do is if I just bring my folders up. Now in a PC we're going to go into, if I just do that for a minute, just into program files, then into Adobe, then into the Adobe Photoshop 21, then into presets, into lookup tables. This is where we want to copy it into. So if I just copy this one for a minute, copy it, and then I'm just going to paste it in. Okay, so you can see it's in there now. If I go to Photoshop though straight away, it's not going to appear there. Okay, so if I just delete this one down into the bin, and I just go back into the adjustments, click onto it, back into my 3D, you can see it doesn't exist here yet. And the reason being is that we need Photoshop to close down and then reopen up to kind of apply it. So let's just shut these down. And then I'm just going to relaunch Photoshop. Then once Photoshop is launched, let's just reopen up our image. Let's open up lighter version as well. Okay, and now we want to go to lookup tables. So if we click onto that 3x3 grid again, and we click onto 3D LUT, you can see that the MC Midnight Test is now as a part of the menu itself. And I would recommend, if you are going to keep the kind of look and feel, and it is going to be a part of your repertoire within the likes of Photoshop, it could be for a series of fine art images, boudoir images, you name it. It's really down to you. And you want to apply the same color effect across them, use the likes of the color lookup table, because it's a quick way to actually apply the differences across them. So again, all we did, remember, was basically created our different stylized image, and then we saved it via the export. Let me just click onto that for a minute. Okay, we went File, Export, Color Table, or the Color Lookup Tables. Initially we saved it to a place given a quality of 663 medium, and we saved it into a certain place on the desktop. The reason that you see so many of my folders with a 0 in the front, obviously it kind of comes up at the beginning. Then we just went in and we basically created a midnight I tend to actually put, as I said, a number at the beginning, so they've come first in the actual layout, and then basically, once it's done, you basically MC midnight save. And remember, it's only going to be saved in this place now. So if I wanted just to apply it kind of one at a time across the different images, of course, I could do the same thing in adjustments, click onto here, and then basically go to it, click onto the 3D LUT though, depends on how you save that file. Remember, I saved them as 3DL files, cube is good. And all I did is the MC midnight, and basically that will apply the same look and feel. But really what I'm trying to do is so I can actually get it visible on this screen. And the way to do that is obviously copy that file, as we just saw a minute ago, from the one full folder to the other. So where this was here, we copied it and we found where Photoshop was and we pasted it into here. And that's us done. Hope you've enjoyed this film on Lookup Tables.